Hello, welcome to Excretory System Day 2. So today's aim is how does our body control metabolic waste byproducts? So how does our body release metabolic waste byproducts? Let's modify that. How does our body release metabolic waste byproducts? So, which structures in diagram 1 and 2 carry out a similar life function? So we're talking about here B, which are the kidneys. Those are the primary organs that we're going to be talking about in the excretory system. And number 4, the cell membrane. And we're talking about the cell membrane because it controls what enters and exits the cell, including waste. And that's what the excretory system does. The excretory system controls how wastes exit the body, and our body releases metabolic waste byproducts through the excretory system. And now this here is something that we've never seen before. This is a sweat gland. And a sweat gland pretty much always looks like that, kind of looks like a knot underneath your skin there. And our sweat glands are part of our excretory system. And our sweat glands release excess water. They help regulate body temperature, which is part of regulating homeostasis. And they release salts and urea. And we're going to talk a little bit more about urea during today's lesson. So let's go on. All right, so part A, the nephron. This is a nephron. Pardon my complete failure to spell nephron with a PH, not an F. So the nephron. The nephron is the functional subunit of the kidney. And the functional purpose of the kidney is filtration. So the nephron is a filtration system. And you can see at one end of the filtration system goes in blood, which waste is being removed from. And at the other end comes out urine, which is a method of releasing liquid waste from the body. The human kidneys perform two major functions. They remove urea from the blood by breaking down excess amino acids, and that's primarily what urea is. It's different wastes, including excess amino acids that have been converted into this waste substance, urea, and our kidneys, by removing urea, regulate the concentration of most substances in the body fluids. So urea is all of the different liquid wastes combined. It is what makes our urine yellow. Urea in a small quantity is also released in the sweat. The kidneys contain many nephrons. These are the functional subunits of the kidneys where the actual action occurs. And again, what that actual action is filtration of waste from the blood. And the term we use to describe those wastes is urea. And it is made up of excess amino acids, which at that point are called uric acid. But it's not just that, and when it all combines together, again, it's this substance, urea, which is released in the urine and in small quantities in sweat, which is also part of the excretory system, which again, excretory, excrete, means release, and specifically we're releasing waste. So now let's talk a little bit about diseases of the urinary system or the excretory system. And so when we're talking about the urinary system, that's really just the kidneys, the tubes leaving the kidneys, which are the ureters, obviously the urethra, the urinary system. But then the excretory system also includes release of CO2 in the lungs, creation of bile in the liver, and filtration of toxins in the liver. Usually toxins that we eat or drink, as opposed to things that are in our blood, which are filtered at the kidneys. And one other thing, forgive me. Oh yes, sweat. But that's not the urinary system, but these are still inclusive of the excretory system, because again, the excretory system is releasing wastes. So, diseases of the kidneys affect the body's ability to eliminate normal amounts of metabolic waste. And again, eliminate, excrete, release. Gout, for example, is a condition that produces similar symptoms to arthritis and is caused by deposits of uric acids in the joints. So if these uric acids can't be released, they build up, and one of the places they build up is in the joints. So again, uric acids are those excess amino acids. If they can't be released, they build up in the joints. So victims of gout suffer from severe pain and stiffness in the joints. Diets that are extremely high in protein result in the production of large amounts of urea, which the kidneys must remove from the blood. The extra strain on the kidneys in eliminating these wastes may result in a kidney disorder or malfunction. So they used to call gout the rich man's disease. Because it's really common in people that eat a lot of lobster, steak, beef, and nothing else. Because what happens is your body absorbs these things, their protein, your body, thinks that it's good for you, but it absorbs too much, right? So it's in the blood at this point. Some of that is filtered out by the liver, but when you get gout, that means it has continued to make it into your blood because you eat so much of it, it can't all be filtered out in the digestive system. And eventually, those excess amino acids can't be released. This could be due to genetic predisposition as well, but it is almost always found when there's also this diet high in protein that results in those excess uric acid being in the blood and then accumulating at the joints. Not fun, not a comfortable condition. That's just one example of a disorder of the excretory system. And there were a few more that may be covered in our Yo Homeostasis project. But all right, that's all I have for you today. Today's aim was, we modified it a little bit. How does our body release metabolic waste byproducts? And how does our body do it? By filtering the blood at the kidneys and urinating the waste out. But also by releasing carbon dioxide in the lungs, and by filtering out toxins in the liver, and by releasing salt and a little bit of urea and water in our sweat. And that's it for the excretory system. Have a super fantastic day, guys, and I'll see you all tomorrow on Zoom. Bye.